My child, lean in. My beloved, do not blink. A holy whisper just moved through the room and called your name. Archangel Michael speaks. God's plan is clear. Your marriage is connected to one special person. This revelation is urgent and private. Do not wait. Do not ignore. Open your heart before the door closes. I was sent to stand at your door and guard your destiny. I am Michael, captain of heaven's armies, and I have been watching the battle over your heart. There is a name written in light for you, and heaven is jealous to protect it. You have wondered if you are chosen for love or meant to walk alone. Hear this now, the promise is alive, and the promise has a face. God does not give confusion, He gives clarity at the perfect hour. Beloved, breathe slow. A divine alignment is moving like a river under your life. It is gentle to the touch and fierce in its aim. It is guiding you toward one person and away from every counterfeit. Your tears were counted. Your lonely nights were never wasted. Your prayers soaked the ground like early rain, and the soil is breaking open. Listen to the still, small voice. Not every hand that reaches for you is worthy of your crown. Not every smile was sent by God. I have cut cords you could not see. There is someone who carries your answer like a sealed letter. You are their miracle, and they are your key. Heaven has woven your names together in the book of days. You will know them by peace that lands on your chest like a soft blanket. You will know them by a sudden quiet inside your thoughts. You will know them by the way your spirit says, home. This is not a guessing game. This is an appointment. This is destiny stepping into daylight. Some wanted you confused. Some wanted you tired. But God wanted you ready. I have seen the imitation voices. They imitated care. They imitated devotion. They imitated faith. But they could not imitate fruit. The true one will carry fruit, patience, kindness, gentleness, steady honor, holy fear. They will protect your calling instead of competing with it. They will cover your heart instead of exposing your weakness. Do not chase what God is removing. Do not cling to hands God has gently peeled away. Release the door that never led to your future. My sword has been active. I cut away soul ties that drained you. I shattered mirrors that only showed you your pain. And now I present you a window, look through. My child, your timing looked late to you, but it is perfect to God. You are not behind. You are right on schedule. Delay has been your protection. You asked for a sign. Here it is, repeated confirmations around the same name or initial. Dreams that return like a chorus. A sequence of numbers that meet you when you feel most doubtful. Sudden peace right after surrender. You asked for direction. Here it is, stop trying to force what never fits. Stop auditioning for the wrong stage. Stop apologizing for your anointing. Prepare your house like someone important is coming. Prepare your finances like a family is about to expand. Prepare your spirit like a temple about to host glory. If this word touches your soul, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next divine confirmation. Stay under this covering. Stay in the flow of instruction. There is a conversation that will feel like rain after drought. There is a message that will arrive at a holy hour. There is a meeting that heaven scheduled before you were born. You will not have to chase it. You will not have to beg for it. It will stand in front of you with honor. The wrong ones asked you to shrink. The right one will ask you to shine. The wrong ones loved your gifts but feared your growth. The right one will water your growth like a garden. You are not hard to love, you were hard to deceive. That is why counterfeits ran. They could not breathe in the air of your calling. I shield you now from voices that twist scripture to control. I shield you from those who promise grand futures but deliver small rooms. You were made for an open sky. Beloved, heaven is rearranging your path quietly. Sudden changes may begin, a plan cancelled, a route shifted, a seat moved. Do not be alarmed, these are angelic edits to your story. You will feel the pull to clean your space. You will feel the pull to refine your habits. You will feel the pull to honor your body and tend your soul. This is preparation for covenant. Your promise is not fragile, it is fortified. But your posture matters. Honor brings acceleration, compromise brings fog. Say this out loud, I release what God didn't write. I receive what God appointed. Feel the room change when you speak truth. Feel the fear break at the sound of your agreement. There is a holy jealousy over your next chapter. Not everyone will be allowed into the room. Some will watch from a distance as God seats you at a new table. The person assigned to you, listen. They are not perfect, but they are set apart. They carry scars that match your compassion. They carry faith that matches your future. They will not only say, I love you. They will say, let us pray. They will not only promise the moon. They will walk with you at 2 a.m. when storms are loud. My sword stands between you and every sabotage. I expose secret jealousy. I uproot manipulative counsel. I quiet the gossip that tried to stain your name. Your marriage is a ministry. Your home will be an altar. Your table will host laughter and prophecy. Your children, present or future, will inherit clean air. You asked, when, Lord? Heaven answers, when preparation meets obedience. Not by panic. Not by fear. By peace that passes understanding. Take these steps. Close the chapter that refuses to close itself. Return items and promises that were never yours to carry. Unfollow what keeps pulling you backward. Write one clear prayer and speak it daily. Take these steps. Wake with thanksgiving. Bless your morning water and drink it slowly, asking for a pure heart. Read a few lines of holy wisdom and sit in silence long enough to hear your name. Take these steps. Guard your midnight. Midnight is a gate. What you agree with at midnight escorts you into a day of strength or a day of weakness. Choose strength. If this message is confirming what you've been sensing, subscribe now and stay under this angelic counsel. When you stay, heaven has a longer conversation with you, and your next step becomes brighter. You may feel a pull to write a letter you never send. Do it. Let the pain leave through ink instead of argument. You may feel a pull to sow a small act of kindness. Do it. God uses kindness like a key in the right door. You may feel a pull to forgive a memory that still screams. Do it. Forgiveness does not excuse, it releases. And release creates room for your promise to land. The right person will handle your truth with clean hands. They will not weaponize your vulnerability. They will not rush your healing. They will guard your story like a treasure. I see a date circled in the spirit. An ordinary day carrying an extraordinary meeting. A simple hello that glows with recognition. I see a place you almost didn't go. A small decision that becomes a doorway. Follow the peace. Unfollow what keeps pulling you backward. Write one clear prayer and speak it daily. Take these steps. Wake with thanksgiving. Bless your morning water and drink it slowly, asking for a pure heart. Read a few lines of holy wisdom and sit in silence long enough to hear your name. Take these steps. Guard your midnight. Midnight is a gate. What you agree with at midnight escorts you into a day of strength or a day of weakness. Choose strength. If this message is confirming what you've been sensing, subscribe now and stay under this angelic counsel. When you stay, heaven has a longer conversation with you, and your next step becomes brighter. You may feel a pull to write a letter you never send. Do it. Let the pain leave through ink instead of argument. You may feel a pull to sow a small act of kindness. Do it. God uses kindness like a key in the right door. You may feel a pull to forgive a memory that still screams. Do it. Forgiveness does not excuse, it releases. And release creates room for your promise to land. The right person will handle your truth with clean hands. They will not weaponize your vulnerability. They will not rush your healing. They will guard your story like a treasure. I see a date circled in the spirit. An ordinary day carrying an extraordinary meeting. A simple hello that glows with recognition. I see a place you almost didn't go. A small decision that becomes a doorway. Follow the peace. Ignore the pressure. Do not fear distance. When God writes it, miles obey. Schedules bend. Hearts make room. Do not fear timing. When God speaks, clocks kneel. Windows open. Paths cross at the appointed second. Your discernment will sharpen. Red flags will look like stop signs instead of pretty ribbons. Green lights will feel like a blessing settling over your shoulders. There will be a moment when you try to talk yourself out of joy. Do not do it. Do not sabotage what you prayed for by doubting how quickly it arrived. Some will not understand your choice. They do not need to. They did not sit with you in the valley. They did not hear God call your name. Your yes is sacred. Your no is holy. Use both like tools given by heaven. You will begin to see small alignments. A song with your exact words. A message at the exact minute you asked for a sign. A chance encounter that feels like déjà vu in the best way. When it happens, pause and whisper, "Thank you." Gratitude is a magnet. It gathers more light to your path. I charge your home with angelic peace. I station guardians at your thresholds. I silence nightmares that came as thieves in the night. Sleep will return like a friend. In the morning, you will feel new strength in your bones. You will look in the mirror and see a different glow. That glow is agreement with heaven. Do not rehearse old heartbreak. Do not keep score with ghosts. Turn your face toward the new day. Your marriage will not be a performance, it will be a prayer. Your union will not be a cage, it will be a launch pad. Your love will not be a rumor, it will be a testimony. I speak protection over your communication. No mixed signals. No half-truths. No hidden agendas. I speak blessing over your finances. Provision for celebration without anxiety. Wisdom for planning without fear. Generosity that multiplies. I speak healing over your memories. Pictures in your mind that once hurt will now bless you with lessons. You will smile at how far grace has carried you. If you can feel the weight lifting, do not leave this atmosphere. Subscribe now to remain under these messages and receive the next step in due time. Your future is listening to your decisions. Now hear the closing command. Stop returning to what God rescued you from. Stop calling chaos chemistry. Stop confusing intensity with intimacy. Choose peace. Choose honor. Choose the person who prays with you more than they post about you. When you pray tonight, hold your heart with your own hands and say, I am chosen for covenant. Let the word settle like oil. Let your breathing slow. Let your shoulders fall. The door is not closing on you, it is closing behind you as you leave the wrong hallway. Ahead is a room with a table set for two and a light that never flickers. My child, I will stand at that door. I will keep watch while you sleep. I will guide your steps when you wake. Your marriage is connected to one special person. Heaven is already speaking their name. You will hear it at the right time in the right way. Do not rush. Do not fear. Do not settle. Walk, slow, steady, surrendered, into the appointment written for you. And when it opens, you will say, this is what I prayed for. And heaven will answer, yes, and more. My beloved, listen carefully as I press this truth into your spirit like a seal. You are not late, you are not overlooked, and you are not forgotten. The calendar may have accused you and the clock may have mocked you, but heaven never moved your date or downgraded your promise. There is a choreography to your steps that you could not see while you were waiting, a sacred timing working beneath the surface like roots forming under soil. Your nights of quiet were not empty, they were incubators. Your sighs were not wasted, they were counted and converted into guidance. I, Michael, have walked the perimeter of your life like a watchman, marking off the boundaries of what cannot cross into your future. I cut the invisible strings that kept you circling the same door, and I stationed angels at the corridors where your name is about to be called. You were preserved, not paused. Every detour hid a deliverance. Every delay saved you from a trap set to steal your softness and your capacity for covenant. What you called rejection was redirection, what you called silence was strategy. Now receive this, the person written for your life is approaching, not as a storm that takes, but as rain that restores, not as a spotlight that blinds, but as a lamp that clarifies. You will feel a peace that does not argue with your mind. You will feel a recognition that does not require a speech. You will feel God's hand settle the dust and point to what is already yours. There is a sign I am permitted to tell you to watch for, and you will not need to force it or fabricate it, a gentle interruption that changes a small plan and opens a better path, a repeated word that finds you in different places on the same day, a memory you had forgotten returning with warmth rather than pain. Pay attention to alignments that are too kind to be coincidence. When your heart tries to make it complicated, sit still and ask, does this increase my clarity or my confusion? Destiny does not dress in confusion. It arrives clothed in quiet certainty and respectful pursuit. The one assigned to you will carry reverence for your process. They will not rush your healing nor perform tenderness only in the daylight of attention. They will be steady in private and honorable in public. Their presence will not shrink your calling, it will give your calling room to breathe. Where others wanted ownership, this one will build partnership. Where others criticize the weight of your anointing, this one will lift from the other side and call it beautiful. You will not be asked to dim your light to keep their comfort intact. Instead, your light will reveal their best, and your best together will look like worship. Guard your imagination in this hour. The imagination is the dress rehearsal of your faith, and many rehearsals have been stolen by old voices and unhealed scenes. Tonight, before you sleep, tell your mind it is permitted to rest in goodness. Speak over your pillow, I welcome the picture heaven prefers. Invite dreams that edify rather than accuse. I will station a sword at the doorway of your thoughts, and anything that knocks without honor will not be admitted. Remember, the adversary cannot create, he only counterfeits. He mimics language, he mimics urgency, he mimics affection. Do not be deceived by loudness or speed. Look for fruit over fireworks. Look for consistent prayer over poetic promises. Look for accountability over charisma. The counterfeit requires you to abandon yourself to keep them, the covenant requires you to be yourself to keep it. You will not have to trade your voice to be loved. You will not have to gamble your peace to be chosen. Peace is not the absence of challenge, peace is the presence of proper order. When God orders your steps, even your obstacles become ushers. I am instructed to lead you into 3 preparations that summon the future faster because they signal agreement to heaven. First, prepare a room in your daily schedule for conversation with God that cannot be negotiated away. 10 honest minutes in the same place at the same time is a gate that angels recognize, and through that gate instructions will be delivered with increasing precision. Do not aim for perfect eloquence, aim for honest presence. Second, prepare your environment. Remove what keeps you anchored to an old season, the gifts that ache, the letters that accuse, the numbers that tempt old loops. Clean a shelf, clear a drawer, make physical space for a new story to land. Small housekeeping on earth becomes large housekeeping in the spirit. Third, prepare your speech. Slow your tongue at midnight. Midnight agreements travel faster. Refuse to narrate your life with sentences you no longer want to live. Retire the phrases that keep pain on payroll. Introduce the phrases that escort favor to your door. Whisper in the dark, I am not behind, I am aligned. I do not chase, I attract what bears my name. I do not strive, I steward. These words are not decoration, they are architecture. They frame a world your feet will soon walk in. If what I am saying is stirring your spirit, stay with me and subscribe so you remain under these instructions as they unfold step by step. When you stay connected to a stream of holy reminders, your discernment stays warm, your courage stays hydrated, and your next action arrives on time. Do not wander between wells when you are this close to rain. Anchor yourself where your faith is fed and your focus is guarded. The next message will carry practical steps named to your season, and I want you to be present to receive them as they arrive. Now let us address the fear that lingers, the one that whispers, "What if I choose wrong again?" Breathe. Heaven is not tossing you into a maze without markers. You will not be punished for learning. You will not be doomed for being human. The markers are simple: honor that feels like home, pace that agrees with peace, truth that welcomes accountability, and a future that expands both of your assignments rather than placing one in a cage. The right path will not require you to betray your values to belong. The right person will not interpret your boundaries as rejection but as the blueprint of a safe home. Watch how they treat time, watch how they treat waiters, watch how they treat their own mistakes. A humble heart is a better prophecy than a dramatic promise. And when your old nerves rise, place your hand on your chest and say, "Nerves are not prophecy. Peace is my language. Clarity is my sign." As you say it, I will stand beside you, and the heaviness will loosen like a knot finally finding its end. You are stepping into a season where small obedience unlocks large doors. A reply sent without overthinking, a yes to attend a simple gathering, a decision to leave a conversation that keeps injuring your hope, a budget ridden with joy instead of fear. These are not minor adjustments, they are steering wheels. Your union is not just romance, it is strategy for your destiny. Laughter will be your medicine and alignment will be your shield. You will plan and pray in the same breath. You will dream and do in the same week. And when resistance shows its face, as it always does near threshold moments, do not call a storm what is only a test of your posture. Keep your shoulders low, your gaze soft, and your confession steady. Bless those who don't understand. Release those who won't support. Invite those who can be trusted. And as you do, you will feel the ground under you change from sand to stone. The room you enter next will not demand that you audition for your own life. It will recognize you on arrival. You are stepping into a season where small obedience unlocks large doors. A reply sent without overthinking, a yes to attend a simple gathering, a decision to leave a conversation that keeps injuring your hope, a budget ridden with joy instead of fear. These are not minor adjustments, they are steering wheels. Your union is not just romance, it is strategy for your destiny. Laughter will be your medicine and alignment will be your shield. You will plan and pray in the same breath. You will dream and do in the same week. And when resistance shows its face, as it always does near threshold moments, do not call a storm what is only a test of your posture. Keep your shoulders low, your gaze soft, and your confession steady. Bless those who don't understand. Release those who won't support. Invite those who can be trusted. And as you do, you will feel the ground under you change from sand to stone. The room you enter next will not demand that you audition for your own life. It will recognize you on arrival. Before I withdraw, receive this final impartation. I lay a canopy of protection over your communication, your timing, and your travel. Messages meant for you will not be lost in transit. Opportunities meant for you will not be handed to unprepared hands. Meetings meant for you will not be cancelled by chaos. I anoint your discernment to distinguish between urgent and important, between noise and guidance, between loneliness and God's invitation to stillness. You will not confuse impatience with intuition. You will not baptize anxiety as instruction. Your steps will be ordered, your heart will be guarded, and your eyes will be bright. And when you stand at the doorway that bears your name, you will recognize it, not because it is decorated with fireworks, but because it is framed with the peace you have prayed for since you were small. Walk through, and do not look back. The chapter closing behind you is not your failure, it is your graduation. The love ahead of you is not fragile, it is fortified. And I, Michael, will remain at your threshold until covenant takes your hand and calls you home. If this word is a mirror to what you already knew deep down, subscribe and stay close. Your next instructions arrive soon, and I want you ready when they do. My beloved, hear me as I press one more layer of calm into your chest. You are stepping out of a room where every mirror was tilted and every light was harsh, and you are entering a room where the windows face sunrise. In the old room, your heart learned to whisper so it wouldn't be punished for being loud with hope. In the new room, your hope will be invited to sing. In the old room, you kept asking, is it too much to want what God promised? In the new room, the answer will arrive before the question forms. No, it is not too much, it is exactly right. This shift is not theatrics, it is order being restored. Heaven is not rushing you, heaven is ready for you. I am moving the furniture of your circumstances, one chair of timing, one table of opportunity, one lamp of revelation, so that when your promise knocks, it finds a house that looks like welcome. There is something important you must understand about covenant. It is not built by fireworks but by faithful sparks. Sparks are small, but they start holy fires. Sparks look like remembering the detail you mentioned in passing and bringing it up weeks later with care. Sparks look like asking how your soul is and then waiting for the full answer, even if it is messy. Sparks look like integrity when no one is watching. The counterfeit learned how to make noise, but it never learned how to keep a flame. The one written for you will protect morning conversations as if they were rare flowers and will water your calling as if it were a garden that feeds both of your futures. Their patience will not be laziness, it will be strength that refuses to drag you before you are ready. Their pace will not be indifference, it will be wisdom that prefers the foundation to the facade. You will notice this difference quickly, and when your old reflexes try to sabotage goodness because goodness feels new, place your hand over your heart and speak. New does not mean dangerous, new means delivered. I must also tell you about the silent edits happening around you. A message you almost send but feel the nudge to hold. A plan that cancels and leaves you strangely relieved. A meeting moved to a different day only to align perfectly with an unexpected invitation. These are not accidents, they are editorial marks from a careful God. You have asked, Lord, if this is you, make it plain. Watch how plain it becomes. Paths that used to feel like maze walls will begin to open like curtains. People who once occupied a dominant chapter will quietly shift to the acknowledgements page. You won't need a fight to exit, you will receive a gentle release. Let it be gentle. Not every door requires a speech. Not every season deserves an argument. Sometimes the holiest thing you can do is bow to the timing that spares you from wounds you would have had to spend years forgiving. Your body is also part of this covenant preparation. It is not a burden, it is a sanctuary. Treat it as such. Drink water like prayer. Sleep like agreement. Feed yourself as if you are fueling a journey rather than punishing an appetite. Walk, slow if needed, steady if possible, under open sky and ask heaven to clear the air around your mind. When your body feels safe, your discernment hears more clearly. When your nervous system is respected, your spirit can translate signals without distortion. You will find that care becomes a magnet. You will draw into your life relationships that mirror the way you have learned to honor yourself. A neglected heart keeps choosing neglect. A tended heart recognizes honor and whispers, "Yes, this." Now, listen to me about time. You have been trained to worship fast and fear slow, but heaven does not panic. There is a difference between divine urgency and human hurry. Divine urgency is a bell that rings to gather your attention so you can move with clarity. Human hurry is a siren that multiplies noise and leaves you exhausted at the wrong destination. I am ringing a bell, not a siren. Hear it and come to the center of the room. The instruction is simple. Choose what chooses you in truth, release what only auditions, and keep your eyes on the fruit, not the fireworks. Time will obey you when you obey peace. Opportunities will extend their deadlines when you extend your gratitude. What is for you has been rehearsed with your name, it will not forget its lines. Now, listen to me about time. You have been trained to worship fast and fear slow, but heaven does not panic. There is a difference between divine urgency and human hurry. Divine urgency is a bell that rings to gather your attention so you can move with clarity. Human hurry is a siren that multiplies noise and leaves you exhausted at the wrong destination. I am ringing a bell, not a siren. Hear it and come to the center of the room. The instruction is simple. Choose what chooses you in truth, release what only auditions, and keep your eyes on the fruit, not the fireworks. Time will obey you when you obey peace. Opportunities will extend their deadlines when you extend your gratitude. What is for you has been rehearsed with your name, it will not forget its lines. If these words are aligning with the quiet you have carried, stay covered, subscribe so you do not step out of the flow of instructions. The next guidance will arrive like stepping stones. You won't see step 3 until you plant both feet on step 2. That is not withholding, that is protecting you from overwhelm. You are not meant to manage the entire staircase, you are meant to honor the next step, then the next. As you do, your confidence will stop depending on outcomes and start depending on obedience. Obedience is a soft strength, it does not shout, but it moves mountains that brag. I will speak now to the memory that still hums with ache, the one you have half healed and half hidden. You wonder if this ache disqualifies you from clean love. It does not. The ache is a scar singing, I survived. The enemy tried to rename you, too much, and too late, and too broken, but heaven has never used those labels. Heaven called you, in progress, and, in promise, and, in position. Your tenderness is not a flaw, it is a compass. Your standards are not arrogance, they are a map. Your boundaries are not walls against love, they are doors with proper locks, and the right person will be grateful the house is safe. When shame tries to rewrite your history, answer with this: I am not the event that hurt me. I am the evidence that grace works. Before I withdraw, receive a blessing over your voice. You will speak truths that used to tremble in your throat, and they will come out steady. You will ask for what is right without apologizing for existing. You will say no without becoming defensive and yes without becoming afraid of the cost. Your voice will stop bargaining for crumbs and start ordering the banquet heaven already paid for. In that banquet, there is joy without dread, companionship without performance, intimacy without injury, planning without panic, and laughter that makes your chest feel like a bright window. Your union will not require you to translate love into pain to prove it is real. Your union will be fluent in peace. Walk forward now with a humble boldness. Expect gentle confirmations, not breathless chase scenes. Expect doors to open that require character more than charm. Expect protection to arrive before the problem. Expect the date circled in the spirit to become a day circled on your calendar, and when it does, treat it with reverence. Pray the night before, rest, breathe, be exactly who you are. You have nothing to sell and everything to share. The person appointed to you will see it, value it, and answer with their own steady yes. And I, Michael, will stand watch until the vows you speak, vows of honesty, honor, and holy love, become the rhythm your days dance to. If your spirit knows this is true, remain close, remain teachable, remain at peace. The next instruction is almost at your door, and when it knocks, you will recognize the sound. My beloved, let me place a steadying hand upon the timeline of your life and show you what you could not see while the room was dim. Nothing essential has been lost, only imposters. What left you was delay disguised as comfort, and what is coming to you is purpose wrapped in gentleness. The promise of covenant is not a rumor, it is an appointment already on heaven's calendar, waiting for your readiness to meet it. Readiness is not perfection, readiness is agreement. Agreement sounds like this: I can outgrow who I was without resenting who I had to be. I can receive love without negotiating away my boundaries. I can carry calling and tenderness in the same hands. When you say yes to that agreement, your steps change temperature, you feel warmth where cold doubt used to live, you sense traction where you once slid, and the future stops feeling like a riddle and starts feeling like a road. Walk it without dramatizing every turn. The road was built for you to travel, not to test your worthiness at every mile. I want you to observe how heaven has been training your eyes to recognize real from almost. Almost takes, then explains, real gives, then listens. Almost needs an audience to be kind, real is kind when no one is counting. Almost performs intimacy while hiding responsibility, real carries responsibility as a love language. This clarity is not here to make you suspicious, it is here to make you free. Freedom is the quiet that returns when you stop making compelling excuses for obvious red flags. Freedom is the breath that deepens when you stop telling yourself stories to survive rooms you've outgrown. When the appointed one steps forward, the stories will not be needed, the truth will be enough. Their presence will not demand that you shrink to fit a small hallway, their presence will invite you into a house with windows that open, air that moves, and light that keeps telling you to grow. I will stand at the threshold and nod when it is safe. Listen for the yes that arrives in your bones, not just your ears. There is a sacred practice I ask you to adopt in this waiting that is not really waiting. Bless your present with the same faith you plan to pour on your future. It is easy to say, I will be faithful when I arrive, but gates open faster for hearts that practice faithfulness on the way. Lay your mornings like seed, speak one sentence of gratitude before you read the news, check messages, or recall yesterday's ache. Gratitude does not lie about pain, it tells the truth about provision. Then, choose one small act that respects the life you are building. Clean a corner, pay a small bill, make a simple meal, delete a number that reopens wounds. These are not chores, these are confirmations. They send messages across the veil that say, I am a faithful caretaker of what I asked for. And heaven, hearing that report, authorizes more. The increase you have prayed for is allergic to chaos, it multiplies best where honor is normal, peace is practiced, and things are put back where they belong. There is a sacred practice I ask you to adopt in this waiting that is not really waiting. Bless your present with the same faith you plan to pour on your future. It is easy to say, I will be faithful when I arrive, but gates open faster for hearts that practice faithfulness on the way. Lay your mornings like seed, speak one sentence of gratitude before you read the news, check messages, or recall yesterday's ache. Gratitude does not lie about pain, it tells the truth about provision. Then, choose one small act that respects the life you are building. Clean a corner, pay a small bill, make a simple meal, delete a number that reopens wounds. These are not chores, these are confirmations. They send messages across the veil that say, I am a faithful caretaker of what I asked for. And heaven, hearing that report, authorizes more. The increase you have prayed for is allergic to chaos, it multiplies best where honor is normal, peace is practiced, and things are put back where they belong. You have also asked, how will I know this is my person and not just my longing wearing a mask? The answer is unromantic and glorious, fruit over fireworks, patterns over promises, prayer over performance. Fruit is what remains after the first thrill has quieted, patterns are choices repeated without an audience, prayer is the language of humility that sustains what talent can only start. The one I am bringing will not be threatened by your healing pace. They will ask for your story as if it were a river they wish to learn, not land they wish to own. They will make room for your calling without shrinking their own, so that two assignments can stand together like pillars holding the same roof. You will notice that decision-making becomes softer, not softer as in weak, softer as in less friction. Agreement will not feel like surrender, it will feel like harmony. And when disagreements arise, as they must in any courageous life, they will not become trials, they will become teachers that graduate you into deeper trust. Now, let us cleanse the inner room called memory, where old scenes sometimes replay without your consent. I place a guard at that door. We will not erase your past, we will redeem it. To redeem a memory is to pull its sting and keep its wisdom. When that familiar clip begins, the one that convinces you to brace, to bargain, to beg, interrupt it with a line you have not used before, I survived that, and I am not obligated to reenact it. Feel how quickly air returns when the script ends early. The enemy profits when rehearsals steal strength from your arriving performance. You are not auditioning for pain anymore. You are preparing for covenant. Covenant is not a perfect duet sung without mistakes. Covenant is two honest singers learning to breathe together, to rest when one is tired, to carry when one is heavy, to laugh when silence gets too serious. You will make music that does not exhaust you. You will keep tempo with grace, not anxiety. There is counsel about pace that I want you to carve into your everyday. Divine urgency is not human hurry. Divine urgency alerts, human hurry alarms. Divine urgency says, attention, alignment, action. Human hurry says, panic, pressure, perform. I am wringing your attention, not your panic. You do not need to run to prove that you care. You need to be precise to demonstrate that you heard. Precision looks like one call returned on time, not 20 messages sent to escape loneliness. Precision looks like a boundary spoken once with kindness, not a lecture delivered with fear. Precision looks like choosing the room where your spirit wakes up, not the room where your nervous system always negotiates. As you practice precision, you will notice time obeys you. Appointments will land at hours that protect your energy. Doors will open that do not require you to argue for entry. And what once looked random will begin to reveal the soft mathematics of providence. If this is meeting you with the peace you have been hunting, remain in this stream. Subscribe so these instructions continue to arrive exactly when you need them. The human mind is a leaky vessel, it forgets what it loves under pressure. Regular reminders are not weakness, they are maintenance. You maintain the car that carries your body, maintain the message that carries your future. Each word I send will be a stepping stone across waters that used to drown your confidence. Do not apologize for needing guidance. Heaven delights in directing those who ask. I want to set an anointing on your communication, texts, calls, meetings, silent glances. May your words be clean without being cold, warm without being wasteful, truthful without being cruel. May the tone you carry disarm defensiveness and invite honesty. Where you used to escalate to be heard, you will now lower your volume and increase your clarity. Where you used to over-explain, you will now offer a simple boundary and trust it to stand. Where you used to take responsibility for other people's storms, you will now hand them their umbrella and step out of the rain. Watch how quickly peace returns when you stop managing weather you did not forecast. The person written for you will notice this peace and protect it with their own choices. Together you will build a climate where tenderness grows easily. Before I draw back, receive a final strengthening for this stretch. You are allowed to be happy without asking disaster for permission. The habit of flinching at good news is not discernment, it is fatigue. Fatigue taught you to apologize for joy because joy once drew envy. But you are not living in that room anymore. Joy is not bait, joy is a birthright. Approach it like a guest you invited. Feed it with gratitude. Walk it around your home. Introduce it to your calendar. When fear knocks, and it will, answer with this simple sentence: I am safe in God while good things happen to me. Feel how that truth reorders your breath. Goodness does not make you careless, goodness makes you careful in the right way. You will steward, not clutch. You will celebrate, not brag. You will share, not perform. And when the day circled in the spirit becomes the day circled on paper, you will stand in a room that finally matches the prayers you prayed in whispers, and I, Michael, will be at the door, guarding what you were born to keep. Stay close now, the next word will meet you on time, and when you read it, something quiet and solid inside you will say, yes. This is the way. My beloved, let me draw the map a little clearer across the quiet of your heart. The path you are on is not a tightrope above disaster, it is a well-built road that was poured in prayer long before you stepped onto it. Every mile was measured to your stride. Where you feared cliffs, there are guardrails. Where you expected dead ends, there are turnings that open to gentler valleys. What felt like wandering was actually training your attention, teaching you to hear the soft cues heaven prefers over the loud chaos the world rewards. This is why you have grown more sensitive to peace and less impressed by performance. That sensitivity is not fragility, it is precision. It allows you to notice the subtle, yes, of God in a room, the small shift in your chest when something is aligned, the way the air seems to lighten when truth is present. Keep trusting that peace is your compass, clarity is your signpost, and honor is your pavement. There is a blessing resting on your preparation that you must not underestimate. You are planting decisions that look small on the surface but echo like bells in the halls of timing. A cleared drawer says, I expect good change. A paid bill says, I govern increase with gratitude. A kind apology offered without defensiveness says, I am ready to build, not win. These are not chores, they are invitations. Heaven reads order like a welcome mat. Disorder is not a moral failure, but order is an accelerator, especially in matters of covenant. Put things where they belong, and watch how quickly the next piece of your story finds where it belongs too. You are not conjuring destiny, you are cooperating with it. And cooperation looks less like frenzy and more like faithful rhythm: wake, bless, work, rest, listen, repeat. Miracles love rhythm because rhythm keeps you calm enough to receive them. Now let us speak plainly about recognition, for you still ask, will I really know? You will know the way you recognize the first cool evening after a heavy summer, no announcement, only relief. You will know by how your laughter returns without practice. You will know by the ease with which truth sits between you, even when it is uncomfortable. You will know by how quickly prayer becomes your shared language rather than your secret survival tool. And when anxiety tries to counterfeit urgency, when it hisses that you must decide now or lose everything, remember this: the sacred does not bully. Destiny does not fear your thoughtful pace. What is truly yours would rather arrive a week later to find you peaceful than a day earlier to find you panicked. Refuse to sign contracts with fear. Make decisions from rested oxygen, not from gasps. I want to place a healing over the place inside you that still rehearses arguments you never had the chance to finish. Those rehearsals are unfinished grief wearing a mask. Give them closure without requiring an audience. Write the letter you will never send, bless the memory, and set the scene down like a stone you carried too long. You cannot reach for covenant with hands still full of old debris. Open your palms. Let the river move. Forgiveness is not denial, it is release. Release creates room for wisdom to sit where resentment used to pace. In that room, you will hear yourself again, the unhurried you, the honest you, the you who believes that tenderness is strength and boundaries are love. That voice is your ally. It will introduce you to someone who treats you as carefully as you are learning to treat yourself. Concerning provision, do not fear that building love will break your finances or stretch your time into threads. Proper love simplifies. It reduces hidden leaks, impulse spending to soothe emptiness, scattered yes that cost you hours, endless conversations that defend your worth instead of enjoying your life. The right person partners with stewardship. Together you choose the long good over the quick impressive. You plan modestly and celebrate richly because the celebration is in meaning, not price. You discover that a meal made with care and a walk after rain can produce more joy than a costly room where both of you are performing. Prosperity will visit you in surprising forms, clarity that saves you fees, timing that opens discounts, introductions that multiply trust. Give thanks for each small provision, gratitude keeps the gate oiled. When resistance reappears, and it will near every threshold, let your posture do the talking. Shoulders down, breath low, eyes soft, words few. Resistance wants drama because drama drains discernment. Decline the stage. Answer with simple truth, this no is not a weapon, it is a boundary. Or, this yes is not desperation, it is alignment. You are learning the elegant art of holy minimalism, fewer explanations, cleaner choices, deeper peace. The person appointed to you will thrive in this climate. They will not demand performances, they will offer partnership. They will not decode every silence as rejection, they will ask, listen, and meet you where presence is needed more than paragraphs. If these words are watering you, remain under this stream. Subscribe so the next instruction meets you on time, because guidance loses power when it arrives to a crowded mind already captured by noise. Staying near is not dependence, it is devotion to clarity. You have seen what scattered voices do to your focus. Now taste what consistent counsel does to your courage. Each reminder will not merely inspire, it will steady your feet onto the next stone and keep you from mistaking the river's sound for a warning when it is actually a welcome. Finally, receive this charge over your future home, it will be a place of unforced light. Windows opened by truth, doors locked by honor, laughter that lingers in the hallway after guests leave, and a table that remembers stories rather than keeping score. You will pray there without theatrics, simple, sincere, frequent. You will disagree there without humiliation, curiosity first, humility next, repair always. You will rest there without apology, screens closed, souls open, music that helps your breathing remember how to be kind. Your children, present or promised, will learn that love is a steady job with joyful benefits, not a performance with punishing reviews. And when you look across the table at the one heaven wrote beside your name, there will be a moment of holy familiarity, as if you are recognizing a place you've never been but always believed existed. That is covenant. That is home. Walk toward it without hurry, but with holy confidence. Michael will continue to stand at your thresholds, keeping the path clear and the air gentle while you arrive.